What's going on, VitalSyntax here, and today we're taking a look at the MTAR-21, which is one of the new carbines for the engineer class that was released for Battlefield 3 in the Close Quarters expansion pack. And let me tell you, this gun is a beast at close range, probably one of the best weapons for close quarters combat, primarily because of its high fire rate coming in at 900 rounds per minute, which is the same fire rate as the AEK, and I believe it's only bested by the FAMAS at 1,000 rounds per minute. But this gun is absolutely a beast at close range, and you're not going to have any problems going up against things like a shotgun that are only going to be good at close range. And definitely that's what you want to kind of stick to. This gun isn't the best long range or medium range weapon, although the first couple of shots, I'd say the first 4 shots, if you do 4 round bursts with a heavy barrel, are actually quite accurate. I found them, I was expecting to be a little bit less accurate, but after those first initial 4 or 5 bullets, the gun just starts going crazy, like wacko recoil, and actually less recoil and more spread, so making it almost impossible to hit targets at anything other than close or medium range. That's if you don't have the heavy barrel. Obviously the heavy barrel is going to help you out at a little bit longer ranges. For this game I was switching up between a couple different attachments. I'm currently using the suppressor. I've also tried the heavy barrel, and I kind of tried a couple different optics like the red dot sight and the holographic sight. And right now I think my preferred setup is probably the suppressor and a red dot. And I don't usually use the suppressor on a lot of weapons, but for a weapon that's so good at close range, I feel like this should be kind of a CQB used weapon that you should navigate the way or the map in a way that you're kind of staying away from long and medium range engagements, kind of the same way you do with a shotgun. And having that suppressor just is going to give you so much more stealth, and you're going to be able to navigate the map, take out enemies without a lot of the newer players or just players that are kind of oblivious without them noticing you, because suppressor seems to be a very, very good option for staying hidden. Which it really shouldn't be, because you're still making a lot of noise when you fire that gun, and your teammates are going to see that their teammates are going down. But a lot of people are pretty oblivious, so I always find that the suppressor is an awesome attachment, especially for something like team deathmatch. It's almost a must in my opinion, especially with a gun like this that's so close range that you're not going to have too much of a damage fall off, because once again you want to kind of navigate the map in a way that you're sticking to close range engagements. That way you don't have to worry about the negative effect of the suppressor as much. As far as optical attachments go, I would once again recommend the holographic sight or the red dot or the covert sight. Once again, this is kind of a close range weapon, and anything with a higher magnification is going to be worthless. As you can see, the iron sights are kind of hard to use. They're a unique design I haven't seen in Battlefield 3 so far, which is always nice to see. And I hadn't unlocked a optical attachment at this point. I kind of wanted to show you guys what the iron sights look like, because I'm always interested in things like that. But later on, I believe I throw on the heavy barrel and the red dot sight to also kind of give you perspective on what that looks like. I wouldn't recommend running the foregrip even if you're running the heavy barrel, just because this gun doesn't seem to have a whole lot of side-to-side recoil. From my tests, it seemed like the first couple shots, the first 4 to 5 shots, are mostly vertical recoil, and then after that it just starts spraying all over the place, and I don't think a foregrip is going to help out too much. A heavy barrel is going to help out a tad bit, but you know, since this gun isn't really the best long range weapon, I don't know if a heavy barrel is really going to help out all too much. This is a bullpup weapon, which is kind of unique for, I don't recall any other. I guess there's the A91, but there are very few bullpup weapons in this game. There's very few bullpup carbines as well, so there's a couple advantages that bullpup weapons have in Battlefield 3. And if you don't know what a bullpup weapon is, it basically means that the magazine is loaded behind the firing trigger. In Battlefield 3, it gives you a couple advantages. The first one is that you move faster while you're aimed on your sight. So let's say you're trying to go around a corner and take a couple shots and then go back behind cover. It's a really, really good weapon, or basically any bullpup weapon is a great choice for kind of fast-paced movement like that. Being able to navigate the maps very, very quickly while still being able to use your iron sights and take advantage of the accuracy increase that gives you. You are going to move a tad bit faster. I mean, you're going to be able to outstray some of your enemies, and you might just be able to dodge some bullets and get behind cover a little bit quicker. On top of that, it also gives you increased hip fire accuracy. And this gun already has really good hip fire accuracy just because of that high fire rate. And I've also tried the laser attachment on this weapon, and oh my gosh, that's one of the best kit setups I've seen for close quarters. If you've got the 900 round fire rate in combination with that bullpup hip fire accuracy increase, as well as the laser accuracy increase for hip fire, this thing is just a beast at close range and is easily going to outshoot almost every other gun in the game, even some shotguns at close range. So that's always a great option if you're playing on a super tight small map that you can navigate properly to take advantage of the close range firepower of this weapon. Now, if you're looking for a more long range weapon, I would once again recommend using the M4A1, maybe the G36C, something that has a little bit more accuracy, a little bit less spread. This isn't going to be the best gun to use on a larger map for like Conquest or something, and really that's the primary use for an engineer class, is you're going to be using it in a situation where there's vehicles, which is typically a Conquest server. So I don't know if this weapon is going to be used all too much. I really only found it useful in Team Deathmatch or some smaller maps on different game modes that have a lot of close quarters. A good tip for this map, actually using the engineer kit that I've kind of learned about recently, is using the RPGs to take down rubble and kill your enemies. And there's actually a couple parts of this gameplay that I do that. If you ever see a window or some type of structure, like a building that has, it looks to have some type of destructibility. Not all buildings and not all windows and stuff are destructible, but if it looks like it's destructible, there's usually a good chance it is. So try and shoot a rocket at it, and hopefully that rubble will fall onto your enemy players. And here's a perfect example of that. I know there's a lot of enemies that like to hide behind this. Shoot it down and get a nice double kill. Reload, wait for them to kind of get back in position. I don't want to do it 2 times in a row too quickly. Pull out the RPG again, shoot another part of the rubble, and boom, another double kill. So that's just a great example of how to use the RPGs, because not only can you shoot them at the enemy players, but you can also try and rubble kill them, which is actually way more effective than I've ever really experimented with. You can also do that with the M320 as well, so keep that in mind. So that's kind of my basic overview of the MTAR-21. I don't think it's one of my new favorites. It is a really cool looking, unique weapon though, and I think it's also going to be a very good choice for the close quarters expansion pack with all those smaller maps and stuff. And I can see a lot of people using it in those game modes and those new maps and stuff. So thanks for checking out my review and first impressions, I guess, of the MTAR-21 for Battlefield 3 close quarters. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to give me a like or a favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.